Hi, Josh. I have a whole thing set up for you because you're so special, my special boy. Uh, Hello, Josh. This is a little tutorial thing on getting your bot working and up. Basically, because you're a special boy, you need help with this. This is actually I'm doing all the work for you here. Don't worry, this is a very simple bot. Basically, if we go here, it's says you write. If you type you write, and now this can be any, this could be all capitals if you want it, or none. But as it says, no, you write Josh's zangingly zoomy, or whatever you want to pronounce that like. And that's a simple bot. So I've already explained to you what a class is. A class is an object. It handles how the bot behaves, and it handles events, people sending messages, joining. You can do commands, basically everything. You index a function like this. Indexing is just okay. Let's Google the definition of indexing. Oh, I didn't press news. Definition: the action of compiling an index. Basically, it's just looking in the library and saying, "Hey, I want this function." That's all it is. Okay. Now, as I said, a class is an object, and an object has different types of properties and functions. I established this. It has an event decline, has an event handler that that is called when something happens in Discord. When things can be called that happen. Yeah. There's a message create, and there's ready. The message create is basically one when anyone sends a message, even the bot. No, it's not the bot. No, it's not the bot. Um, you can hook it like this using the on function in the client, and you must have the colon. It's just the way it works. How classes work. How classes work. You have to have it like that. But some libraries you can have it like that. So up here we use the dot, but down here we're going to use a colon because it's a class, and this is just a library. If that makes sense. It's just the way we do it. So the different events pass in different arguments. Arguments are just what's inside this function, what's given to us. The ready event, which is we have it as a string. You can have single quotes or double quotes. I just prefer single quotes. And then we have a function. A function is just something that can be ran multiple times in a code. It's just a subroutine, and we pass it in. So when the ready is called, we don't need to worry when the ready is called. We just need to worry what happens when ready is called. It calls this function, and I just have it say printer bot is ready. And then we have message create, which passes in a message. A message object holds information about the message, like what the message says, who it was sent by, when it was sent, what channel it was, if it was sent in, what guild or server. They're professionally known as guilds. And if the user was a bot, everything, pretty much anything and everything. And then it passes in it like so. Content is a property of the message object or class. You can call it either way, but generally when you're talking about the class itself, you call it class. But when you're talking about one of the classes, like an instantiated version of the class, and it's commonly known as an object, you can call it whatever you want, I guess. A property of the object, of the message object, is content, which is the actual text, the raw text sent. The author, which is just the person who sent it, it can be anyone, even a bot, and that's it can be, yeah. And there's a function. Message is also a class. If I haven't mentioned that, it is. It's a class, and obviously when we're calling functions in a class, we use a colon, and reply is just a function in the method is what they're called in classes. Actually, sorry, my bad. I've been calling them function. They're called methods inside of a class. It's a method inside of the message object. Ugh, that's hard to say. And it's called reply, and it just basically sends a message back into the same channel that the message was created in or sent in. And then you just pass it a string, which of what it's going to be, sending. And I have a few things here just called string not lower, which is a function in a string. What's it called? Library. If we look in, I got the Lua docs open. If we look in the string library, here it is. As you can see, look for the lower. String lower returns S is just a string. Returns a copy of S with the uppercase letters converted to lowercase. Pretty simple. And we just give it to content, which I defined. Local, as I said, is just a way of defining variables. Inside of functions, if you put local, they're not going to be accessed. They're going to be limited to that scope. A scope in programming is just a way of thinking of, I guess, the best way I'd think of it is a house. I think you have all your contents inside this house, but you can't access this house's stuff from over here. You can't functions the house, by the way. You can't access this house's stuff. You can't. That's robbing, and we don't. The laws are very strict here. If you try to do it, if you try to access one of these houses variables in this function in this house, it's gonna give you a syntax error. Or no, a global variable error or something like that. It's gonna give you an error. It's gonna be like, nah, not allowed. And that's basically why we put local. If we just did it like this, then yeah, sure, we might be able. We could, assuming that the message, this function is called before this one, so it can actually declare the variable. Then yeah, we could do that, sure, but let's keep it local, just because we don't need to use it in any other place other than this function right here. Oof. So yeah, this content variable holds the content, and this lowered holds the lowercase version of content. Now this local is bot. It's a variable, obviously, with this little thing. This is basically we do it here. As you can see, it's a comparison. So if the bot object of the author class in the message object, the author, I just said, is the person who sent it. If they are a bot is a property of the author, and that is just basically if their account is a bot. If they're not a bot, then well, this is going to be false because it's comparing it to true. If in fact the bot is true, if the author is a bot, then this is going to be true because it does equal true. And I didn't say this. The bot property holds whether or not they are a bot. That it's a true or false value. And in Lua, other than like compared to Python, and most programming languages have all lowercase or all uppercase, is what C++ does for some of their variables, at least. They have like they use the true and false and null and all uppercase to extend maybe a number. Null is normally 0, this is normally 0, and this might be anything other than 0. But yeah, that's just normally how it is. And so I don't know why I said that. It's kind of went on a tangent. If it's equal to true, then this is going to be true. If it's not, if it in fact is false, then this whole term, this whole variable is going to hold false. And so now we just still have an if statement, which is checks if the user is not a bot, because is bot equals false, which is the comparison. Oh, by the way, these are the comparison. Oh, oopsie daisy. These are the comparison operators. This is what I'm doing in my time instead of schoolwork. We have over or equal to. These are compared by numbers, by the way. Equal to. This is not a number. This can be compared with anything. Less than or equal to, which is numbers. Less than, greater than. These two are numbers, obviously. And does not equal. This does not equal is a lot different than most programming languages. Most use does not equal like that. And that's a completely valid way of doing it. Lewis decided to be special. Alternatively, you can do is not, I believe, but it's just probably good practice just to use the. No, is not. That's Python. Sorry, you can just do not. But let's not worry about that. This can be used on any two variables. As long as they're actually they can even be nil. They can be nil if you want. Nil is just another way of saying null, which is just nothing. That this variable holds nothing. And I believe those are the operators. Am I missing anything? I think that's it. But yeah, those are the operators, and equals means if it's exactly the same. So if you can also do this, is it not is bot, which returns true if this is false. Basically, it's just the inverse of what you pass in here. For good neat code, you could do this just so yes, this is what's noting. So if this was false, then this turned into true, therefore passing the verification and going on to this. But if this is true, this converts, and the not inverses it, as I said. If you've ever dealt with flowcharts, not it inverses it. If we can use where's the oh no, it's not flowcharts. Okay, whatever. I'm dumb. Not is bot, yeah, and lowered is equal to you, right? And all lowercase. If we did this, then this would not work. Message reply no you right. As I said, that's how we do it. Let's move on to the formatted token. The formatted token is a local variable in the global scope, which is a bit weird. The global scope is anything outside of a function, so this is the global scope, this is the global scope. But because we did local here, then anything above here will not be able to access it, because code is top down. It runs this one, runs this line, runs this line, runs this line, runs this line, blah blah blah. So this was all the way down at the bottom. It's not going to be. That's why we run at the bottom. Anyway, so format is a function. Powerful tools, blah blah blah. This is confusing as fuck, but we don't care about that. Basically, this %s means this is a placeholder for a string, and we pass all the placeholder values here in order. So if we did %s again, and if we had token, it do the token twice. If we had like haha, it's gonna do bots token, our token, and then haha. That's how you use the string. There's a bunch more. You can do like %f.2 or something like that. It's really cool, but we're not gonna be worrying about that. and pass in our formatted token. The reason we format it with a bot because the run function method of the client class takes in a string with bot space and then a token. I don't know why it never just took the token by itself and just converted it later, but that's how it is, I guess. I guess for ease of access, just in case Discord changes it, but well, I don't think they have. And then format token, which is our variable, and then we have a bot, which should work as. And then what I'm going to run it. This is something I taught you, but you just go into your directory, click on this up here, type in cmd, and then just type in love it, which is the framework that that this uses. Framework is it's asynchronous input output for Lua. It's pretty good. Love it. Main, which is the file name, main.lua, but you can just call it main, and then enter. It does a bunch of stuff that we don't care about, nerd crap, and it says bot is ready, which if we go here, it says it prints out bot is ready when it's ready, and it calls this function. Now, once we type in you write, we are, for one, we are not a bot, and what we typed in is you write with a capital U and a capital I and a capital H. Now, in our code it says just you write, but I lowered it. I converted it to lowercase, so this should still run because it meets all the criteria, and I did a message create function. It worked like normal. Great. That's exactly what we wanted. There we go. As simple as that. As simple as that. And then we can implement commands like this if you want to, but I prefer not doing that because that's really neat. That's really neat and messy, and just I don't like it. But yeah, that's how to make a bot. It's a really simple bot, but it works, right? Anyway, boys and girls, this has been Muda, and like if you liked, subscribe, dislike if you didn't, and I am out.